Hello and welcome to the Futurist 3D video training series. My name is Jeff Christiana and this is video number 19 of the Skeinforge 47 video series on how to use multiply. On the screen we're in Skeinforge. We're on the multiply tab. For our printers, what you want to do is you want to activate multiply, because when you start a print job, our printers auto home to the lower left. If you do not check activate multiply and you don't put in coordinates of your center, your part will print in the lower left of the screen. So when your print job starts out, your head is going to, no matter where it's at, it's going to auto home. First we auto home the Y, and this will move back, so your head will be here. Then we auto home X, and we auto home Z. So you'll be at this origin right here, 0, 0, 0. When the print job starts out, if you don't, it will start out and end up over here, and possibly end up off your plate. So what we want to do, these are settings for a 12 by 12. A 12 by 12 is 130 over 150. A 14 by 14 plate is 160 over 200, and a 16 by 16 plate is 190 over 210. And you can tweak this. So 130 over 150 should take the head right to the center of your 12 by 12 plate. And that could be plus or minus, I'd say 5, either way, depending on how your bed hits your end stop. And your end stop on your x-axis, where it finds the origin is 0. It kind of varies a little. So what this will do, make sure this is checked, make sure you have a value here. Print job will start, head will come in, right to the center, and then it'll start backing off, and then it'll start printing your object. And go into the print job. Now, the number of cells. What this will do is activate the multiply setting. Let's say you want to do 4 objects of the same thing. You put 2 over 2. Now you've just got one object on the screen, but this is going to make 4 of those, and it's going to auto-center them. So it's going to start the print job off, and it's going to come out, and it's going to calculate where it's going to put that object. And then you'll have 4 objects evenly spaced apart from each other. And what's nice about the skirt function, if you watch the video on skirt, the skirt will actually start printing. It'll come in, it'll outline the area it's going to print. So if you put, say, 50 by 50, something crazy, your skirt will, be out of area, and then you don't waste your time printing something where it's going to fall out of the area. So it kind of tells you where you're going to print, and you can actually watch your skirt as it goes around and make sure your head is just the right height above your bed for that to make a nice line, nice and it pushes it down just a tiny bit so it adheres to the bed. Now the reverse sequence every odd layer, I don't use that function. Default is off, but the definition is when selected, the build sequence will reverse on every odd layer so that the tool will travel less. The problem with this is that the builds would be made with different amount of time to cool, so some would be too hot and some would be too cold, which is why the default is off. I would just leave that off. I've never wanted to turn it on or have any opportunity to turn it on, so we'll just leave that off. Now, separation over perimeter width. This is a ratio, so just say 15 millimeters. So default, believe of this is, default is 15. Default. It used to be lower than that. Now they've increased it, so default is 15. I used to always increase that. So that is this distance between your objects. This actually should be all equal, but we'll just say it is. The spacing between your objects is defined here. So if you want to get more objects on a plate, you lower this number, and this will be it'll print a box, and then it'll print another box right next to it. If you do 0, they'll actually be touching. If you do 1, be 1 millimeter apart from each other. So 15's good. 15 gives it a nice good space. You can get in there and grab your parts. It all depends on what you want to do. Sometimes I lower that. If I'm printing out 20 or something, it'll actually all pop off the board. I just snap them apart from each other. So this has been the Multiply tab, and we will see you in the next video.